So when you sign to a major artist, you may think you hit the jackpot and all your accounts will be in the green. But once you get in, you soon find out that it's nothing more than a pyramid scheme. Let's discuss. What's up, y'all? It's your boy Beasley here. I hope you all are staying cool, calm, and collected out there. So you guys, this topic has been in my notes to do for like well over a year, but after recent events, I think it's the perfect time to put this topic out in the clear. And I simply want to talk about why artists should not sign to other artists. Before I get into this video, the phrase of today is pyramid scheme. A pyramid scheme is defined as a fraudulent business model where people recruit members to make money versus selling actual products and services. My opinion, this all started way back in the day with TLC. TLC was signed to L.A. Reid via his wife Pebbles, who was a major artist in the 1980s. Baby, when I tell you Pebbles did anything to make sure their bank accounts did not succeed, she really just gave American greed, because when I tell you, to this day, Pebbles has her foot on the necks of T-Boss, Chili, and the grave of Left Eye.
Harry Pebbles Reid has filed a $40 million lawsuit against Viacom for the TLC movie biopic that aired 6 months ago on VH1. If this doesn't prove how greedy this woman is, I don't know what else will. This woman is literally suing Viacom for $40 million because she's claiming that it was defamation of her character. This woman who has not managed anyone in years, nobody was checking for Pebbles. And not only that, everybody knows the story of what went down between Pebbles and TLC. This woman is greedy. She had her hands all through the pot. You know, and my thing is, she made all this money from TLC and she basically didn't have to do anything. These women signed their lives away to Pebbles, and even after they broke from Pebbles, Pebbles still walked away with money. They had to buy the name TLC from Pebbles. I mean, this lawsuit wasn't needed. This woman is a self-proclaimed pastor. This woman claims that she's a woman of God, but yet and still, when it comes to money, she has no problem, you know what I'm saying, forgetting about the godly side of her and suing and everything else. This woman has also come out and said many things about Chili. You know, she put Chili out there like she was a hoe. Her daughter was harassing Chili, threatening Chili. So is it okay for Chili to sue Pebbles as well? I mean, I just find this whole situation ridiculous that she's suing for $40 million. For defamation. Like, she just sucked up their money, just bled those girls dry. And unfortunately today, that business model and that business practice in the music industry is still on display. I mainly want to focus on Chloe Bailey. If you guys don't know who Chloe Bailey is, Chloe was a member of Chloe X Halle with her little sister Halle, and they were signed to Parkwood with a joint venture with Columbia Records. Chloe Bailey recently came out and disclosed the fact that during her second album rollout, there's no budget for her. There's no budget to be found, and there's nowhere for her to perform because there's no budget.
Someone said, why haven't you been performing? Trust me, I would be performing if I could. The thing is that money goes into performances. So it's not free to do performances, and you have to get budgets approved and things like that. So if I could, I'd be performing everywhere.
My thing is this. You're signed to Beyonce, who is married to Jay-Z, who owns Rock Nation, who are both billionaires, trillionaires, millionaires. They have all the heirs. And there's no budget. So we gotta rewind just a little bit. So when Chloe and Halle were both signed from YouTube, when Beyonce and Parkwood found them on YouTube, they were signed to a 6-album deal worth $1 million. Now that kind of like raised my antennas when I first read that, because I'm just like, was $1 million just an advance, or was it something they would get over time for making 6 albums? Like, the math ain't math, and especially when you have to split $1 million between the two. Now, under the label, Chloe and Halle released about either 2 or 3 albums together, and then they went off and did their solo thing. Halle went on to become a Disney princess, and Chloe went on to become a solo star. Now, is Chloe solo star material? Yes, absolutely. But I have said on this channel that I feel like it was a huge mismanagement with her solo career, especially because the way she was portrayed to the masses and the way that she was acting, it just was not authentically her, and it felt like her solo career was like a move out of desperation, because Halle was about to be pushed to the forefront, and it kind of felt like Chloe and whoever was cultivating her image was like scrambling to get her out there, scrambling to do this and do that. to make sure that she's seen and make sure that she's heard. It felt like when they were pushing Chloe out there by herself that she was kind of... the image was not her. Like, that booty's so big, Lord have mercy. Like, no. Like, that was not her. Like, they were trying to make her more of a city girl versus a glamour girl songstress. Like, I thought it was just horrible the way they had her out here, just like shaking her ass, showing her ass. Like, I just wasn't feeling it. It just felt very like... It just felt like she was trying to chase that Zeus Network audience. And it's like you're trying to chase this Zeus Network audience, but yet you have an audience of people that were raised with some damn common sense. And it came to a culmination when she put out her first album, like the people with the common sense didn't want it, and then the Zeus Network people didn't want it either. So it's just like, girl, she was left throwing out an album that served nobody, honestly. Now y'all may get mad at me, but that's just how Chloe Bailey's first album played out. Like, it didn't get pushed out there because the audiences that she was chasing weren't really her original supporters. Like, you would look at Chloe Bailey and think like it was just an easy win, just an easy solo project. Like, you would look at her with the face, the singing ability, the writing ability, the dancing ability. She has the total package. But that package was sent to the wrong address. It sucks, but once Halle became the Disney princess, Chloe Bailey was left in the dust, especially because her second album was not pushed at all. Y'all, when I tell you, I didn't know Chloe Bailey's second album came out until maybe like a week or two after the fact, and my friend had to tell me the fact that her album was out, and I was just like, what? Like, she literally had it pushed out with no promotion whatsoever. It's like Columbia Records dropped the ball and Parkwood dropped the ball. And I hate to admit this, but Beyonce, girl, it looks like you dropped the ball. It really sucks what happened with Chloe because her first album didn't do well. And it's like, instead of like taking her back in and just doing like minor tweaks to like produce a better second rollout for her second album, it's like the label just completely just gave up on her. It's just like everybody just completely gave up on her, and it's got me to a point where I really feel bad for the girl. Like, she has it. She has it, but to the label, it's like, nope, you're shelved. Now, when it comes to Beyonce, when I talk about Beyonce, I always gotta kiss Beyonce's ass because deep down inside, I love Beyonce. Like, I've loved Beyonce ever since I exited my mom's womb. Like, Beyonce, Destiny's Child, like, y'all were my day ones. Y'all got me into R&B music. Beyonce, you that girl. You will forever be that girl. Mwah, kiss that ass, kiss that ass. But if the people at Parkwood stumble across my video, y'all, it's no shade, like, at all. I just can't help but call out what I see. Like, I can't lie to thee. I can't lie to y'all when I get on this camera. One thing I've noticed with this current artistry landscape is, like, why isn't Chloe being pushed the same way that Megan Thee Stallion, a rapper, is pushed? Like, you see Megan Thee Stallion on her stage and she has great stage presence, she's a great performer, but she's a rapper. Why is she getting the Beyonce treatment with these performances? Like, she's performing like she's the rap version of Beyonce versus an actual singer like Chloe Bailey, who could really be in that Beyonce lane. I hate to say it, but it just feels like some of these artists kind of like take their competition under their wing and then leave them hanging so they don't succeed and threaten their own type of lane. And it just goes to show that it's going to be hard when you sign to another artist because that artist is always going to put their careers first. They're always going to prioritize their needs before yours. Now, granted, I'm not in the room when Beyonce's mentoring these girls, but from what I saw, I watched two videos when I did research for this. I watched Impressive's video on why Chloe Bailey is like not really having a budget for her albums, and I also watched RRG's video on all the artists that have flopped under Parkwood. And what I learned in that video is that they don't really have like face-to-face interaction with Beyonce. Beyonce simply just sees their performances and she writes her notes, and then she has somebody from Parkwood hand them those notes and go over them. And I remember Chloe or Halle or both, I remember one time they said that Beyonce said, "I have no notes." And I'm like, girl, do you not have notes because you didn't like watch or read the shit? Or is it because like they actually gave a stellar performance? Because if you didn't have any notes, Chloe wouldn't be flopping the way that she is. Now, this is just my personal opinion from the outside looking in of the music industry. To me, it looks like nothing but a big pyramid scheme. So a lot of these artists, even though they don't want to admit it, even these major artists were probably signed to really bad deals back in the day. And they had to like basically recoup their advance, and if they didn't recoup their advance, they had to find another way to pay back the money that was loaned to them. So what's a good way to pay back the money that is loaned to them? By signing other people underneath them to like basically like have them recoup the money that you owe to the label, and in turn you put the people that signed under you to your own label in debt. You get their money, pay off your debt, you're debt free, but the people under you are still in debt. The label is basically a bank, and what do banks thrive off of? Debt. So a lot of these music labels thrive off of debt. And their goal is to keep you in debt, especially sometimes when you haven't really found your own way, but you're still making music, making strides in your career. They're going to assign you to a new deal, give you a new advance, and still keep you in that cycle of debt until you pay off that next advance. It is a revolving door of debt. And that's also why you see a lot of these artists become influencers and promote other brands and do brand deals and get sponsorships like a YouTuber or like a social media influencer. A lot of artists are threatening on that space because they need another way to pay off their debt.
Musicians don't make a lot of money in the music industry. That's why you see a lot of people, they have brand deals and brand sponsorships. That's where the coin comes from in touring. But like music itself, you're actually losing money. I learned this because I would produce Sis and I's records. Producers outside will get paid a huge lump sum, but because I would produce Sis and I's records, I couldn't get paid because I was the producer within the group. I don't know if it changed within Grammys, but you know, like how they have producer of the year. I learned it from Imogene Heat because, you know, she produces a lot of her stuff. So does Grimes, so does Bjork. They couldn't be contenders for producer of the year because they were the ones producing their own bodies of work and not for others. And notice how those are just the women I named.
Like Saweetie, for example. Saweetie has been signed for what, like 5 or 6 years, and she still has not put out an album. But she has those brand deals. She has that McDonald's deal. She has all the deals. And that's helping her pay off her debt. And people neglect the fact that Beyonce, when she signed Chloe and Halle, that same year she also signed an artist by the name of Ingrid Burley and this other girl named Sophie Beam. Ingrid Burley is still signed to Parkwood, but she's out here as a DJ at a Houston restaurant. And Sophie Beam did pretty dirty because she was signed when she was like young. I think when she was like 16 or 17. And her deal was mainly like a mentorship with Beyonce. And she was making like strides, but after that they just chose not to renew. And I think she just fell off in the music industry and just went to college. Smart girl. And the crazy thing with Sophie, they signed her, but they were like, oh, we don't think she's ready to make music. And I'm just like, then why did y'all sign her? My heart goes out to Chloe because it kind of feels like her hands are tied, honestly. Like, you have all this talent and all this stage presence and all these beautiful looks, beautiful gowns, great gowns. But yet, your label doesn't give a damn because your last project flopped, even though they didn't promote it. But you know what got promoted? Sir Davis. You know what got promoted? Sacred. You know what got promoted? Blue Ivy. And then while Chloe has her hands tied, it looks like Halle was the one that escaped the debt because she, like I said, she became a Disney princess and then she married DDG. Even though y'all think he is lesser than she, he makes his own money from YouTube. He's like a YouTube millionaire. So Halle, I don't even know if she's going to return to music at this point. She's like, I'm out of this. I'm in the clear. And moving off of Beyonce a little bit, I want to get on Kanye West and Pharrell. So Kanye West, he formed his own label called Good Music Group. And to his credit, he signed a lot of artists. Like, a lot of artists were successes under him, namely Common and also John Legend. But Kanye West also signed the likes of Designer, who was an absolute clown. He also signed Pusha T, Big Sean, and most notably Tiana Taylor, all who have flopped under his tutelage. I mainly want to focus on Tiana Taylor because Tiana got played twice. For one, she was actually signed to Pharrell when she debuted to the whole world on Sweet 16. She was signed to Pharrell from maybe like 2007 to 2012, and she was put on pause the whole entire time. Like, for some reason, Pharrell didn't really believe in her musically, and I don't think he knew what to quite like do with her. She got shelved and she got dropped from Pharrell, and then she later on, I think she was like independent for a little bit, and then she found her way to good music. Now in good music, I felt like Tiana was finally finding her stride. Like, she made cameo vocals on his what was that Runaway album? Runaway, I forgot the name of that album, but the one he made about Amber Rose calling her a bird. Runaway, that was the name of the album. I already said it. But yeah, she made cameo vocals on that album. And then on his Life of Pablo album was when she truly shined. Y'all, Life of Pablo was my last favorite Kanye West album. I absolutely love that album, still jam it to this day. But when he debuted the Fade music video at the VMAs, everybody was enamored by Teyana Taylor. Baby, the body was bodying, the dancing was dancing. She looked amazing. She made everybody want to hop in the gym and get abs and ass. Like, she was giving all the pizzazz. And it felt like she was finally there on the rise. But instead, Kanye just booked her for dancing appearances. And then later on, she was reduced to performing at the Pornhub Awards. And Kanye, who was dealing with his own career and his own bullshit at that time, kind of put her album on the line, like dropped the line. A Rose in Harlem was rushed. It felt unfinished, and it felt like it just felt like a very rushed project. And Tiana even said it was rushed, and she does not like the way it was promoted, and she did not like the rollout. Y'all, after that, Teyana Taylor just retired from music completely. She felt unappreciated, and she was unappreciated. I will never get over how Tiana was done in this industry. Like, she deserves so much more than what she was given. And lastly, just because this hit my mind, I wanted to throw this in there. G.O.O.D retired from rap, and he actually at one point was a good example of an artist cultivating the careers of other artists. He has like, I think like four or five people signed to him, but his most notable artists are Glorilla and Moneybagg Yo. Moneybagg Yo was one of my favorite male rappers of the new generation, but where is Moneybagg Yo today? He may be laying low behind the scenes, plotting some things, plotting out some new album releases, but I gotta say that his momentum has completely died down, along with a lot of the male rappers today. And then on the other hand, Glorilla is doing great. Glorilla's on the rise, but this latest scandal may come as a surprise, with Yo Gotti's brother being the one who put a hit out on Young Dolph. Y'all, that was revealed a few days ago, and now it looks like Glorilla, like, girl, it's like, do you want to be tied up in this? Angela, do you want to be tied up into this? But overall, y'all, I'm gonna wrap this up because this video got a little long. I think it's just truly sad that a lot of these artists today don't have much of an outlet to really get their music pushed through the algorithm. Like, you have to go through all these hurdles and all this bullshit just to put out music. Like, there needs to be a huge reset on this music industry because it's gone to shit, and we're getting the trickle-down effects of it because the music today is now shit. Yeah, we have some good songs here and there, but they are very few, far in between, and a lot of these artists, these real artists, are losing their self-esteem because of all the bullshit and hurdles they have to face, especially when they're signed to other artists who are going to place their careers over a pedestal above theirs. But yeah, y'all, this is just a video of my observations from what I see of the music industry. Now, I'm not a full-on music industry genius. At the end of the day, I'm still a broke black gay nigga on the couch wearing this cushion out, but I can't help but call out what I see. But those are my views. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm gonna come back at you guys with some more content.